everybody. It is Mia with Chalk with Mia. I am an independent designer with Chalk Couture, and I am doing a project tonight. So I thought I would include you guys in. And it'll be kind of fun because I've never done this one before, and it's kind of a hodgepodge of a couple different ideas. So if you join me, please give me a thumbs up or share. I'd really like it if you share the video, or just like it or something to let me know you're here. It's always a little odd, to be honest, doing these lives because I just feel like I'm talking to this camera, and it's always nice when I know that you guys are here. So, oh, hey, Tarina, hey, Paula, I see you guys have joined. Thank you so much for joining me. So while we're giving everybody a couple of minutes to join in, I thought I'd give you a little bit of background on Chalk Couture, and to show you some projects that I was working on last night, to show you, hey, Christy Lynn, to show you the variety of different things that you can do with Chalk Couture. So if you've never seen one of my videos or replays or anybody else in the company, Chalk Couture is a fairly new company. In July, it'll be their 1-year anniversary. And they have, I always say, 3 major products. They have a bunch of different things, but 3 major products. The first one is the Chalkology paste. Okay, so what, hey, Christy Lynn, so what the Chalkology paste is just like in the name, it says chalk, right? So think of like a classroom with the chalkboard, and when you write on it, it stays, right, until you wipe your hands across, and then it smears or it goes away. Well, the cool thing about our Chalkology paste is it can be done on multiple surfaces, chalkboard, burlap, canvas, whatever it is. And if it is a slick type surface, it's not permanent, but I can run my hand across it and it won't smear. It stays there. For instance, I'll show you this. So, see if I can reach this. So I had done this sign, take this to some of my classes, and look, I have not sealed it with anything. This is just plain, okay? Hey, Paula. And so it is permanent until you don't want it to be. So for the project I did tonight, let me do this and get that. Okay, so for the project I'm doing tonight, I actually have, whoops, this really pretty board. And if any of you guys had seen my lives before, it was actually behind me where that other board is, and it had the Happy Easter Hippity Hoppity on it. And I never sealed it. So what I did earlier was just clean it off with some water and a disinfectant wipe. So that is what I love about this product. Number one is because I change my decor quite a bit and I like to switch it out. And so I can do that. Now, if I do something and I do want to make it permanent, I just spray it with a polyurethane or some type of sealer to make with a spray, and it seals it for me. The second product that we have is Couture ink, okay? And ink is permanent. And this is what I was working on last night. I mean, literally, I think my ovaries just about busted. So cute. These little onesies, okay? So this one says Beach Baby, and I can use them with the third product that I'll tell you about in just a second. So, I mean, the opportunities are endless. So, you know, I'm in Virginia, and we live near the beach, and so beach themes are really popular where I am. And so I was doing one for a baby shower, and I couldn't stop, and so I kept making these. But these are all things that you can do with our Couture ink, and all you have to do is heat set it. Just like you do with any other type of fabric ink that you would make, and you're good to go. You can wash them, and it works great. So that is with our Couture ink. The third item that we have as a major product are our transfers. And yes, we call them transfers because they differ a little bit. Thanks for the hearts. They differ a little bit than stencils that you find in the store. So I've got some here because I've been trying to lay out for my project. And what I'm going to do is, this is a wreath that we have. I'm going to stick it to my hand so you guys can see. So this is one of our transfers. And what you can see is like I'm pushing through right here on one of these leaves, and there is a screen mesh inside of it. So that is what makes us different. The second thing that makes us different is you can use them up to like 10 or 20 times, depending on how you take care of the transfer and you know, the transfer itself and stuff. So it's reusable. So unlike a Cricut or stencils that you find, they are reusable, and because they're that screen mesh, it keeps it from bleeding. So, hey Sherry, thanks for joining me. Oh, God, you know what? Most of these girls are on my team, if you guys watch the replay or whatever, and I'm going to tell you, our team is the best. The last thing that I will say is this is a company in which you can join and sell and use the products as well. And the great thing is if you want to be a hobbyist and you just like making things for gifts and your own home decor, perfectly fine. This is probably the only company, and this is one reason why I joined, the only company that I know that there's 3. Hey Sharon, how are you? This is the only company I know that you can have 3 streams of revenue, okay, and not just from the product. So I can sell the products themselves, I can make something and sell that finished product, or I can have a class, kind of like the traditional, you know, Pampered Chef classes and that sort of a thing, where I teach you guys how to use it, and then you get to take home a finished product. So that's why I love Chocolate Tour. Okay, so now that we've given everybody a couple of minutes to join, let's dig into this project. So like I said, I have this board that I love, and it's a black chalkboard, okay? And I've been thinking, what should I do? And, you know, we have a bunch of transfers, and 25 more are coming out next week. So excited. And so I've been just trying to think, and I wanted to have a little bit of fun. So I figured what I would do is take, and I've got all my transfers stuck on the side of my table here ready to do the project. But I wanted to do is say, all you need is love, and then use the cupcake transfer and have cupcakes down here. Because, you know, who doesn't love cupcakes? So what I'm going to do is, I did find some transfers with some of the words that I want on them, but I couldn't find the all, surprisingly, and I'm sure it's in my binders somewhere. But okay, so but this will be a good task, because this will show you guys how I line up my letters and how I try to get them straight. Now, the goofy thing will be is I'm going to use this L. Of course, I had to choose a word with 2 letters back to back, but we'll get an idea. So, hey Dawn, hey Marcia, how are you guys doing? Okay, so what I do is I take, this is just a backing from one of our transfers, and I take the shiny side that we would normally do, and I take the first letter, or actually I should probably do the second one because I'm going to pull the first one off. So I'm going to take the L, okay, and I'm going to put it on the tracer. And what I do is I use this line as my bottom edge, okay? So I am going to put that L slightly above that bottom edge, okay? So this is what it looks like, okay? All right, so that my whole entire letter is showing, it's not being covered up by the backing, okay? Now I'm going to take my A, and I'm going to hold it up to the light because I want to match it as close as I can. And what I'm doing is taking the tail of that A, oops, and trying, so this is why it's good, because that tail is huge. Take the tail of the A and match it to the L so that they will look like they're in sync. And I'm wondering if I just need to get a different, let me see my other A's here, because these two look like they're from different, let's see, if I can get an L. I'm trying to make sure that my A's and my L's are going to match up. Okay, so let's try this again. This is the fun part. This is the creative part. Okay, so all you need and let me see how that looks. Now what I'm probably going to do is there's a little tail on the A. You guys give me a couple of minutes here. There's a little tail on the A that I'm not going to use. And in fact, I think I had another A that had a longer tail. Let me see. I've got all my letters in these little accordions, which is super nice because when I need an A, I just go to my A file and I go, yeah, here we are. Okay, so maybe if I do the other A this way the lines will match up. So I'm using an A with a, you guys can't see that, with a much longer tail, which should set in better. Okay. All right, so this is going to look kind of, I don't think you guys can see, but what I've done is overlapped them. Oops, I did overlap them quite a bit, because what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use the L has a big tail in front of the L. I'm not going to really use that because it's not the start of the word, and the A would be too far out if I did use it. So I am going to just use the tail of the A connecting to the L. Okay, pretty much lined them up. This thing is super slick, so I'm not pressing too hard. Okay, so I've lined this up. So what I'm going to do is, now I tend to eyeball things, and this is another reason why I absolutely love Chalk Couture, is because if I make a mistake, I just take some water or disinfectant wipe and I wipe it away, and we say it's just chalk, and we start over. What I'm going to do is, now that I know how I want these to go, and they're overlapping a little bit here, okay, I'm going to take that A and lay it down. Now, sometimes I'll leave it on this piece, and when I lift it, I'll just lift it up. But since these are overlapping quite a bit, I'm just going to, now that I know how I want to do it, I'm going to eyeball it. So there's different ways that you can do this. All right, so, and I'm going to do the words in custard because the frame is kind of a custard color. They match. So I'm going to use that. I have letters and everything everywhere. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me just put that back on a sticky so I don't mess that up. Okay, so I'm going to turn this a little bit so that I can get to it. So we open up our paste, and you want your paste to be like a marshmallow fluff consistency or a yogurt consistency, something along those lines. So not runny, but with some flexibility to it, okay? And it's kind of a feel thing. Whenever I have classes, people are always a little hesitant and they're not sure. So you eventually do get a feel for it, but if you feel like it's a little too stiff, I just have some water. Hey, Julie. And Donna, did I say hi to Donna earlier? I have some water in here, and you just spritz a few things of water, and you mix it, and you're good to go, okay? And these pastes lasts about 6 months before they start to, I'm not going to say expire, but, you know, hit their life limit a little bit. Okay, so one of the, so we have many products. This is one of them. This is a squeegee, and they come, this is the main size. I cut them in half down to here, and then sometimes if I have a small thing, I cut it in half again, just depending upon the space that I'm going to be using. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my squeegee and put it in my paste, and I wipe it right over top of that letter. Okay, and I'm going to take all that excess that's on my squeegee and put it right back in the container. So I always tell people, do not be scared to be extremely, generous with how much you put down, because you're going to take all that excess up and put it right back in the container, which is great. So you're not really losing anything. And then you take your transfer and peel from a corner, but you try to peel it from the middle and peel it up. And you have a wonderful little letter. Okay, so hi Pam, my board. Okay, so I will PM you later, but I got it from I believe it was from one of these large clothing discount type stores. So I will PM you it later. Corporate is asking us not to promote other things. So, but I'll PM you later. But it is a large discount type store with 4 letters. If that helps. I did not bring my blow dryer down here. So what I'm going to do is hope that I don't peel up this chalk paste when I do this L. Okay. So what I'm going to do is kind of hold it up a little bit. Now, the one thing you also want to make sure is that you're getting all the air bubbles out from the screen mesh part. And the reason is because that's part of the benefit of this screen mesh is it does not, favor bleeding because there's nowhere for it to go except for through the mesh. But if you have air bubbles, you're probably going to get some bleeding. And with my letters, I usually try to start above the letter, not right on it, because usually your first little dab onto the letters pretty thick with paste, and so I try not to do too much, on the letter itself. So there's my L. As you can see, it's very curvy and pretty, and that tail from the A is coming up through the L, but I kind of like that. So now, normally we would throw these letters into a pan of water to make sure that the chalk paste does not dry onto the transfers, and we can reuse them. But since I'm doing them side by side, I'm going to go ahead and do this other L and hope that it works. What's hard is because it's black and I've got a green transfer here, the backing's green, it's hard to see through. So we're going to hope this is straight and good. All right, and you just want a thin layer. So what I go back through is I scrape off any of the excess. Oh, it's a little crooked, but I think, oh, I just broke my nail. That's lovely. Okay, so I take my transfer and I put it in the water. I take my squeegee, and actually I'm going to keep this out because we're going to keep going with the custard color. But I am going to cap my paste just a little bit because it is paste. It will dry kind of quickly. So we want to make sure that we're covering everything and that we're good. Unfortunately, we don't have that store in my area. Oh no! But I will tell you, there are other stores that have similar things. I've heard that there's one, with a boy's name that also carries similar type things. Okay, so all. So that's my first word. All you need is the next one. So you, which I am using this transfer. So I try to use words as much as I can from other transfers because the lining up is not overly difficult, but it does take some practice. And so if I can save myself a little bit of time, I certainly try to do that. So this one says, "You are my sunshine." So I'm going to use the "you" in this transfer. Now this one I have used before in those letters as well, but I'll tell you, when we first get these transfers, they are uber sticky. And so we want to do what we call defuzz them. And so we put them on our shirts, on our pants, on a cloth, whatever's next to us, and we try to take some of that stickiness off or use our hands, okay? You don't want to lose all of it, but certainly some of it, because it's so sticky, depending on the surface, when you go to pull it up, sometimes this green transfer back part will also go onto your surface. So destickifying the back is really important. Okay, so I'm thinking I was going to just put all "you" on this first line, but these are kind of smaller than I was imagining, so we are going to put all "you need" up here. All right, so I'm just worrying about the word "you," okay, making sure those air bubbles are out, and many times we'll take our squeegees and drag it across to make sure those air bubbles are out. And if you hear popping, that means there's air bubbles and you need to keep dragging. So, so yeah. All right, guys, Yay, there's 7 of you on with me. Thank you, thank you. Please like and share if you want. And ask me any questions. I will try to monitor the feed. I'm not as good as some people in doing that as quick. So I will answer at some point and hopefully get you what you need. Okay, so I'm trying to make sure that this doesn't go on that L because it's not dry. All right, so I'm going to be very careful because I'm just doing the U and not the whole transfer. So again, I'm sticking with the custard. I always say I'm kind of plain Jane. I love color, but whenever I do projects, I really tend to stay kind of monotone sometimes. We'll get some color when we do the cupcakes, but for the most part, I'm kind of plain Jane. So now I pull this up. Oh, you. Oh, I love it. I don't know how many times I have done this, and every time it's the same reaction. I'm just so excited. So here we go. All you. Okay. Got it? So all you need. And I took my laundry transfer, and these are going to be a little bit in different fonts, which is fine with me. I kind of like the play on different things. And it says help needed from the laundry font. So I'm just going to use need in the word needed. So, and I kind of like that that's the word that'll be in a different font because it's kind of like all you need. And it puts a little emphasis on it. So I'm just trying to space this out a little bit. And again, I tend to eyeball things. So again, if I eyeballed it incorrectly, which does happen, I just redo it. And I have so much fun chalking, I don't really mind, to be honest with you. Okay, so this one, I'm trying to just make sure. Since I'm doing a live, I'm trying to be cautious and do it correctly. That way you guys don't sit with me for 3 hours while I redo and play around with it. Okay, so again, I'm going to try to be cautious here and just do the word need. But of course, if I go over and get any of the other letters, not a problem. I literally just take a Clorox wipe or a paper towel and clean it right on up. And that's what I'll have to do with this anyways, because I've gone over the edges and I'll need to clean that up. So, and I'll show you guys how I do that. So put that in the water. So you can see I have all you need. And actually those lines there make it look kind of rustic. Christy Lynn, the fonts are honestly my favorite transfers because we can make them each perfect. Yes, I agree. They are. I love the fonts because you can personalize it. And I did a whole block for somebody for an anniversary. It said like 25 years, how many months, how many hours, seconds, and I had to do all of them with the fonts. And it took me a little bit of time, but it was a lot of fun, and it turned out really pretty. I was so excited to do that. So to clean up these edges, I've just got a paper towel and I've got a tin of water over here. So I'm just going to get some of that water and I'm just going to rub the chalk area. Here, you guys can't see it. I'm sorry. I'm so spatially limited. I have no time. If you guys watch my lives, you'll know. I never know how to, with the camera being backwards, I always end up going in the wrong direction. Okay, and I'll show you guys this in a second so that you can see just how well it cleans up. And I'm going to get some water, and because I've got a little bit of ghosting going on where it's just, you can see where I've rubbed it. So I'll get some clean water because that water actually had some of that paste in it. Clean up some of these areas. Oh, I love it. Okay, and that custard color actually matches perfectly with this board. Okay, so all you need is, and I've got from my pet transfer where it says love is a 4-legged word, I've got is in cursive. And so I'm going to use that. So all you need is, and I'm going to try to put this, and my love is kind of big. So I'm going to move this. Oh, hold on. I've used this one, but it feels kind of sticky. Okay. All you need is, I tend to talk to myself a lot. Sorry, guys. That's a sign of genius, right? Somebody tell me that's a sign of genius. I don't know. Okay. All right. So, and I'm just holding the transfer up a little bit because I don't want it to sit. I didn't bring my blow dryer down here, and I don't want it to hit the areas I just did and pull that paste up. Like I said, it dries fairly quickly, but still, you don't want to mess it up if you can help it. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you guys, this is awesome. All you need is, and it's kind of, it looks really small on the camera. It's not that small in person. It's kind of like the side mirror on your car. Objects may appear larger, but in this case, they may appear smaller. All you need is love. Isn't that a song? All you need is love. Okay. I might have to move that is over a little bit because that Y is making me do the love a little farther out than I had planned. Should have thought about that, huh? Luckily, that is very small and can be done very easily. I really should have brought my blow dryer down. Okay, so just you guys hear my son. Do you need some child labor? He's offering to go upstairs and grab my blow dryer. No. Oh, maybe. Yeah, because when I get to the cupcakes, I can have child labor. If you don't mind, you can grab my blow dryer. You know where it is? I love having children. Child. I don't have children. I have a child. Okay. So I'm just working to get these air bubbles out. And I'm going to grab some paste. This is the other thing. This is why chalking with friends is so much fun, because they can hold things down for you and hold things up and move things and do things. And so it's a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm just getting that excess off because I want to save every little bit that I can. And, oh my goodness. Now I'm going to admit I don't remember where this love one came from. I can't remember. Maybe some of you girls remember. Hey, Janet. Long time no see, woman. Okay, so all you need is love. And Janet, I thought about doing one of your projects here on the live. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. So Janet's son is getting married, and I'm helping her with a few projects for the wedding. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'm super excited. She has fabulous taste. Thank you. I can't see you yet. You got to come a little further. I just went. Yeah. He's my servant boy. Yeah. Dylan, oh my goodness. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take the word is back out, and I'm going to wipe it off because it's a small transfer. I can do this fairly quickly. Yeah, he's such a cutie. Okay, so thank you, son.
You're welcome.
My favorite son.
And your only son.
And my only son, he yelled at. Okay, so this will be good because you guys can see, hold on, let me go, that how I erase and redo. So I'm actually, when I'm spraying the water on here, I'm getting very close because I don't want any splotches of water to jump to any other area of the board, okay, because it will mess up, you know, those other letters. Woo, that is kind of sticky. All right, so you guys can see I've taken out the word is. Okay. Oh, Janet, you are welcome. It's true, girl. I'm so excited to see how that wedding's going to turn out. It's kind of fun just seeing it in the pieces. I can't wait to see it when it's all together because that's just going to be awesome. Okay, I think this is close enough. Okay. All right, we're going to redo it. What happened to my squeegee? And hope that I've gotten it close enough. Like I said, it is a little bit, well, I don't take the time to measure and get it close and do all that kind of stuff, especially if it's just a project for me. Now, Janet, I will do it for you. But if it's just my project or something that I'm going to sell in the shop, and I can take my time and I don't mind redoing or whatever, then I kind of eyeball it. But all you need is love, okay? And where's my word and? Okay, so I've got this one. I think this one was from the laundry one too. And I'm just going to center this. Oh, that's kind of nice. It's 3 words, 2 words, 1 word. Didn't plan it. But hey, sometimes life works for you, right? The stars align and it works out. Okay, so if I do that, I've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay. See, I do a little bit of measuring. I count. Okay. Now, and I chose to do all these in custard because I am going to do the cupcakes in different letters, and I wanted that to kind of be fun and it not be too distracting with a whole bunch of colors in a lot of different areas. I'm going to put the cap in there to clean it. Okay, so, and because it matches the frame so well, I just thought that would be nice. All right, so we're going to pull this up. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, there is no way that I could do this by hand and it look as pretty. Okay, all you need is love. And now we're going to do, what I was thinking about doing is I've got 3 different cupcakes. So I was going to put them down here and then at the bottom put hashtag cupcakes. So, not that anybody doesn't know they're cupcakes, but you know. All right, so we have got these really fun transfers. I'm going to do the polka dot one in the middle that are the cupcake base. I don't think you guys can see this cupcake base, and then you can do the icing on the top. So I think, all right, so we're going to do this one first. And I think if I space these out, 1, 2, see, measuring, this is measuring technically. I need to move these all over a bit. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I do actually have a tape measure. Let's see if we did 13 inches, and then that's 1. That's an inch inside that, and that's about an inch inside that. Okay, so we're about good. All right. So I'm going to do one that has zigzags first. And, okay, so you guys tell me what you think of these colors. Some of them are kind of crazy together, but hey, that's what art is, right? So I was going to do aquamarine and lilac, okay? Aquamarine, it's kind of hard to see on the camera, and lilac. So the aquamarine will be the cupcake holder and the lilac on top for the frosting. I was going to use evergreen and lime, 2 shades of green for the middle one, and mint green and peachy on the end. I'm questioning the evergreen and the lime. I'm thinking maybe a yellow. What would go good with yellow? The yellow would go good with the evergreen, right? I'm thinking the evergreen might be too dark because of this being a black board. So let's see. What do you guys think? Suggestions, people, suggestions. Let me know. I am thinking, now that I'm looking at it, I think it's just a little too dark. So maybe we have that pretty, is it this one, canary? Yeah, a pretty canary yellow. Yellow and lime. Oh, okay. I can do that. Where'd my lime go? Okay, so I'll do lime on the bottom and canary on top. How about that? Love it. Thank you, Pam. Okay, and again, if we don't like it, it's just chalk. Take it right on off. Okay, so this first one, I am doing the aquamarine, okay? And I'm going to open it up. Ooh, this is a new paste. Oh, I did have the coastal blue, but I think it's going to be too light maybe. All right, so we're going to, and I love mixing up, especially the new pastes. For any of you designers out there, I know it sounds so silly, but it's kind of like when you get bubble wrap and you get to pop the bubbles. It's just so much fun. So this is like marshmallow fluff, right? Or yogurt. It's a little runny, but it still has some stock to it, right? It's not like liquid. So let me clean up my space a little bit here. Okay, so I'm going to take a new squeegee and dip it in my paste. And I'm pulling down. And you can go in any direction. It can be up and down, side to side, you know, whatever you want it to be. And it doesn't really matter. So I'm just cleaning off all that excess. And let me cover this back up because I'm not using that. And I've got transfers stuck, Jamie. I tell you, sometimes that happens. We forget. We'll be de-stickifying and get up to go do something and forget we got transfers all over us. Funny for the family, crazy for us. So here's the one cupcake base. Oh, Janet, that's okay. Oh, thanks, Pam. I appreciate it. I'll catch you another time, Janet. Janet also sells in the little boutique that I help at. She does a lot of salvage, resalvaged type things like old doors, and she's such a good eye for that stuff. Antique lamps and pieces and vintage, pretty awesome. Frames, anything really. All right, so I'm just getting the bubbles out of this one. I think I'm gonna do the base all the way across first, make sure I got that spaced okay, and then I'll do the top. That way, if I didn't space it right and I'm moving down, I don't have to erase all of it. I can just erase the bases. Okay, so now we're gonna do that lime green, which I'm excited about. I have not used this yet, I don't think, and no, it's brand spanking new. And it's actually quite a pretty color. I know everybody's probably thinking 1980s, the fluorescent colors, and it is a little bit of that, but I love green so much that I think it's just pretty. So again, I am just mixing, and with these new pastes, they say mix until you don't hear that squishiness anymore. When you stop hearing it make noises, it's pretty much well stirred. So, okay. All right. Throwing that in there because I can use my stirs over again, which is great. And my squeegees I can use over again. So there's not a whole lot of waste. The biggest thing that I probably toss are the disinfectant wipes and paper towels. But everything else is, you know, pretty reusable for a while. In fact, I haven't had to throw away any transfers yet, to be honest with you. And I have been a designer since September. And I do a couple of projects a week. So more if I can fit them in. Now that I have my own craft room, I'm so excited. I told my husband, I was like, I may never leave. I mean, you set me up with cable TV, the internet, webcam. Tell you, fan's a keeper. Okay, so now we have, and I love the lime green. Good suggestion. Love it, Pam. Okay. So now we're going to do the last base, which is kind of like a carnival, you know, looking, looks like a popcorn bin or something like that. So Now this one I will measure a little bit just to make sure the distance on the sides and in between is about the same. So I've got about 1 inch there, about 1 inch there, and top quarter. Okay, close enough for government work. All right. So now I'm going to pull all those little bubbles out. Okay. Oops, I can see a few. Sometimes when there's a lot of screen mesh in there, it's a little hard to get the bubbles out, but you just got to keep working it. You'll get it, I promise. Okay, so trying to remember what I said I was going to do. Okay, so, and now, oh, I think the lilac was on top of this one. Okay, didn't I say that? Gosh, who knows? All right, again, we're going to mix this one up. And these new ones do not need any water. I mean, they are just fabulous. So if anybody watches the replay or whatever, and you have any questions about Chalk Couture, because I know when I first started watching them, I was kind of like, okay, I'm kind of getting it, but I'm not sure if I totally get it. And so yeah, so certainly I will do my best to answer whatever question I can. And then if I don't know the answer, I'll go to my team. And my upline, my sideline, my downline, somebody will know it. Because that is how we roll. We have got an awesome group of ladies. I think we might have 1 or 2 men in our group, like husband and wife teams. I can guarantee you, you will not see my husband. Although he helps me a lot with picking out colors sometimes and mixtures and stuff, and I'm always trying to get him to join me on camera. No. He's like, I'm quite all right in here watching sports. All right. Oh my goodness. I love it. Okay, so I've got all 3 bases done. Love it. What do you guys think? Try to get really close so you guys can see the colors. Okay. All right. Okay, so now I need to do the tops. And okay, so I've got 2 that are almost identical. Well, they probably are identical. And they just look like ice cream tops, to be honest with you. Thank you. And so I'm going to, let's see, I don't want to, you know what? I'm going to use my blow dryer that my son brought down for me because I don't want to mess up those cupcakes. So hold your ears because I am about to use the blow dryer here. Now, if Joan is still on, I don't know if she's still on, but she taught me a very good lesson once. We were watching, or I think she either told me or was watching, that she was having a class, and the one person turned on the blow dryer and there was glitter next to her. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's such a good lesson because I love glitter. And although I love glitter, I certainly don't want it all over. So, and all this stuff. So I don't want it flying everywhere. Just hang with me for a couple of minutes. Woo, use a cool setting. Oh, my goodness. Okay. It is getting hot around here, and I did blow paper towels off. Okay, so some people use a heat gun. I just use a blow dryer. You just have to use the blow dryer a little bit longer than you do a heat gun, but ultimately they have the same effect. So, okay, so here's my cupcake topper, and I'm going to line this up so that the base of it kind of goes into the cupcake holder a little bit, because if I do it directly right on top, it's going to look too positioned or too, I don't know what the right word is. Okay. So layering is fun. And there's a lot of stuff you can do. I could mix colors together to make my own color. I could, I think I said yellow, sorry guys, peachy here, yellow, lilac. Okay. You can mix colors. You can do ombre effects. You can do mix and match, you know, where it's just, you know, like almost like just finger painting type of a thing, and a whole bunch of colors mixed together that actually ends up looking really pretty. We do that on a, I have a rooster transfer, and I do that a lot with his feathers because it makes a pretty rainbow effect. Okay, this one's getting kind of low. I've worked my way through. So these paste containers look small, and they're converting the 2-inch containers to 3-inch containers, if you guys can see. And to be honest with you, they look small, but because we put all that excess back in the container, you don't use as much as you think you would. And I think I've only gone through 1 full container, maybe. But I have a lot of colors. So, so I probably, you know, am good at, oh, let me get these air bubbles out, using an array of different colors. But I've had make and takes and all that stuff. So maybe I've gone through a handful, but not many. All right, so I did my best to get those out. And what I'm going to do is go sideways and pull off this excess. Just making sure it wasn't completely off camera. So I know you guys can't see it directly. I always, you know, do you guys prefer, because I always go back and forth on whether I should have the camera directly down on the project. You know, for me personally, to be honest with you, when I'm watching people, I kind of like to see them too, because, you know, I like to see their personality and talk to them, you know, feel like I'm watching them. You know, kind of like, was it Bob, or who was the painter guy? We'll put some pretty little trees back here, and you know, his personality was half of that show. And so I kind of like seeing the person too. So I don't know. I always go back and forth on what I should do, because I want you guys to see it and to experience it. But okay, so here we go. There's the first one. Okay, fun, fun, fun. And then now we're going to go with that canary on top of that lime. I do have, let me see, there is a mustard color. Oh, I'm thinking that school bus yellow would be pretty. It's a little bold. This one's a little too light. That's a pretty bold color. I need something to match that boldness. So we're going to go with, I think, school bus yellow. I think mustard will be too. I don't know. Yeah, we're going to go with school bus yellow. Okay. All right. So, let me get this. This is one that I use a lot. It's actually pretty, quite pretty. It's a very solid yellow. Getting all these little crusties. And usually when I spray my water, I do it off to the side because, again, I don't want the water to hit my project unintentionally and make me redo something I don't want to have to redo. And I'm telling you, it's so funny. I've had more people who, you know, other artisans in the shop, or even people in my class, who just sign up because they want to do a fun project, or they'll contact me and say, hey, I've got this thing I want to do in my house. Can you help me? And I'll say, yeah, we'll do it. And then they're totally hooked. They absolutely love Chalk Couture, and because it's so much fun. You know, I don't know how many times in classes people have told me, you know what, I'm not that creative. You know, I don't think I'm going to be good at it. This, that, and the other. And I go, you don't need to be that creative. Chalk Couture helps you with that, because they lay all the fonts out for you, and you can mix and match, and you've got all these wonderful transfers to choose from. And then really the creativity for those that like to be creative comes in with choosing the colors and the layout and all that stuff. If you do want to go, you know, rogue and kind of mix stuff up like this and stuff. But if you don't, you just keep the transfer the way it is and just choose your color. And you've got this beautiful piece of home decor at the end. Okay, so I think that's good. Good. Thanks, Donna. I appreciate it. Thank you for the comments. Makes me, you know, I can see you guys are there, but makes me feel like I'm not talking to myself. All right. I really appreciate you guys joining me tonight. This is my typical Saturday nights, which I love. When I was 21, I probably would have been like, what? In my early 20s, what are you doing? But now at 40, loving it. Okay. All right, so we're going to pull this one up. And look at the beautiful, oh, I think going with that darker yellow was such a good choice. Okay. Look at that. So all you need is love and cupcakes. Now we're going to do peachy. And these actually match almost perfectly with the little loop thingies. Okay. Again, just getting the air bubbles out. And let me mix this one up. It's a little thick, not bad though. Just a couple of squirts will do ya. And okay. Another little squeeze. Good thing I have like buckets of squeegees over here, I tell ya. Because I use them like my mother uses utensils in the kitchen. All of them. And I'm not shy with grabbing a new one when I need it. Now I just need to hire a transfer and accessories cleaner so that I can just keep trucking. And too bad they don't come with the package when you sign up. Okay, so, oh my gosh. Oh, I did pull up a little bit of that green at the bottom, but I can fix that. Not a problem. All right, guys, look at this. Okay, so I have a question. I do have a tiny little cherry transfer. I don't think you guys can see it. A little cherry. I was thinking, do I just put it on the one in the middle? And I can use, I've got like a bubblegum pink or a red. Or should I leave it off? I don't know what to do. I'm going to fix that little splotchy area. So what do you guys think? Thanks, Sherry. I appreciate it. I'm actually going to take a paintbrush, get it a little wet, and I'm going to see if this works, and try to fill in that space versus laying the transfer back down while you guys are giving me your opinion. Love the cherry idea. Okay. And I'm thinking just the middle one because I don't want to overdo the idea of it. And I'm thinking, I don't know if red is going to be too bold with all this, but the pink may clash, even though it's a bubblegummy pink, with that other one. What do you think? Should we try the red so it looks like a real cherry? I'm thinking so. Okay, I'm going to just smudge this little area here. Oops. Okay. Yay. All right. Hey, Heather. How are you? Okay, red it is. We are going red. Oh, that's red orange. I want red, red. Jungle red. That's what I call it, jungle red. All right. Now, I will tell you guys with the pigments of the red and the black, they are very strong. And so when you go to wipe them off, it takes a little bit more effort because they are such a strong Pam kind of like the red, but not sure. I know. And you know what? I could mix the pink and the red together, or a red with a little bit of the white. But I'm thinking this is kind of fun and Willy Wonka-ish, you know, a lot of colors, a lot of cartoony. So we're going to go for the red. We're just going to go for it and see what it looks like. You know, with art, there are no mistakes. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh, I should probably blow dry that one transfer a little bit. So hang with me a couple seconds, people. Heather, I love it. So Heather, if you guys are big jewelry lovers, or if you're not and you want to be, Heather is a rep for, is it Premier? Heather, type in here what you're a rep for, so that way I don't misspeak, because I certainly don't want to do that. But she has got beautiful jewelry choices, and she's really good at mixing and matching them and stuff. So if you guys need jewelry, Heather's your girl, and she does lives as well. So we try to jump on whenever we see each other on. Heather and I went to high school together. Okay, so I'm doing the red. I'm doing it, people. We're going for it. I think I'm going to love it. Okay. All right. Oh, I took a little bit of the yellow with me. I didn't dry it enough. Okay. See, this is, I get impatient, but I can fix that. Look at just a tiny little Premier Designs. There we go. Thank you, Heather. Good job. Okay. All right. So I'm loving the red. It actually, in person, I know there's a glare on the camera. In person, it looks fantastic. Love it. It is just a nice little cherry on top of the cake. Yeah, no, absolutely, Heather. You know what? I feel like us women and small businesses have to support each other. So I am all about it. Okay, so I am going to actually do the same thing with the yellow as I did with this green over here, is I'm just going to fill it in a little bit with a paintbrush. And it does give it a little bit of a different texture, but when it dries, hopefully it will kind of just all bleed together. And it's giving me a little bit of a blank space, but it kind of falls in line with what everything else is. So, all right, voila, and it is fixed. Clean off my paintbrush, put it back. All right, guys, now at the bottom, I'm going to put the word #cupcakes, because I've got all this space down here. And I don't want it, oh, all the kids want that cherry from the milk. I know, I do too. Love it. I've got all this space down here, and I think it's a little bit too much space. So, I mean, I don't like overcrowding things, but I think this needs a little something. So we're going to put hashtag, which I have a transfer. That's a hashtag. And I also have a transfer from my pantry one that says cupcakes. So that's what we're going to do. Oops. If you guys have seen this, is always my husband's favorite part. He's like, let me help you. Okay, so all right, I'm going to actually put both of these on here together to make sure, again, spacing, see, so I am measuring to make sure that it looks okay, because again, I don't want it too close to the cupcakes or too close to the bottom. I kind of want it in between the two. So if I measure from here, you're 6 inches. So these are approximately 1 inch. So I'm going to want, so 2.5 inches just about. Yep. I think we're good. I'm getting good at this eye thing. just eyeballing it. Okay, so I got to find my custard again because again, I want the focus on the color to be on the cupcakes and not the words. So I am going to do these in the custard. And again, I usually start mine above where the transfer is, because if I do get an extra blob of something or I skip something, I don't want it to be on the transfer part. I want that mistake to be before I get to it. So I'm just giving myself there a little bit of a heads up or a little bit of a spacing there to do that. And I will show this to you guys in a second once I get the whole thing done. So we're almost done. We've been on for an hour. So you guys can see, I mean, this was, you know, as I always say, these projects are, I'm going to move this over a little bit. These projects are fairly quick and easy. And I've been talking to you guys. I think I've spent the first 10 minutes talking to you guys and kind of walking you through and answering questions, or answering messages. So I could have probably, if I had just done this in the comfort of my room without going live, maybe done it in about 40 minutes, which is wonderful. I love it. And that's what I love about this. I'm an instant gratification person. So I absolutely admire artists. You know, my whole one side of my family are artists, but I just don't have the patience to do it. Oh, I think I need to move it over a little bit. When I moved it, that blue, I was, okay. But I'm going to show it to you guys. I'm going to still move it over. All right, but look. Hashtag cupcakes. Okay. Yay. All right, so I'm going to move it up and over just slightly because it is a little small, but I like it. And I want to center it a little bit. So what I'm going to do is spray a little bit of water on this while blocking all the other areas. And whoop, it's gone. It is no longer here, which is wonderful. Okay. And let me grab my little hashtag back. I've got to find it. That's what I get for just throwing it in the bin. Okay. And these are fairly small, so I can wash these off pretty easily and dry them. And so what I do at the end, just to let you guys know, to clean all these, is I first run them under warm water, and then I usually wipe them down with a disinfectant wipe, because there is, now I am not a chemistry person, and it may be the alcohol in it, I don't know, but there's something in those disinfectant wipes that help keep the stickiness on the back of the transfer. So I always want to wipe it down with a disinfectant wipe. You know, just a Clorox. When I say disinfectant wipe, just your, doesn't have to be, I mean, this is Good and Clean. I think this is a generic brand from one of those big generic stores. And, you know, you just want to make sure that it's a disinfectant wipe. Some people use baby wipes, although I've heard other people say don't use baby wipes. So I don't know. I just use the disinfectant wipes. Okay, so I'm going to do the hashtag first. And you know what, I do have another little tiny cupcake down here, so maybe I'll fill in that space with this tiny cupcake. All right, as I'm remembering the things I have. Okay. And I think this is going to be moved over just slightly. Okay. Hashtag. This custard's almost done. Custard is one of those colors that when I first got it, I was like, I don't know. And then I started using it, and it became like one of my favorites. I love it. Okay. Hashtag Cupcakes. Okay. Now for the little tiny cupcake at the bottom, what do you guys think I should do? Should I do it all one color? I mean, it's tiny. It's a little guy. But he has the, you know, just like these other cupcakes, he's the same. It's just all in one transfer versus two. Okay, that's better. All right. So I have got, I'm trying to think, because there is a little bit of extra space down here I'm thinking, and I'll put this down so you guys can see it. Okay, here we go. Oops. All you need is love and cupcakes hashtag. And then I've got that tiny little cupcake at the bottom. I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and do that one because, like I said, there's just a little bit too much space. So maybe we can do, I've got this, oops, wrong one. I've got this pretty orchid color. What would go well with orchid? I don't know. What do you guys think? I'll need my friends to help. Okay, orchid and maybe an orangey color. Oh, that's that mustard yellow. I do love orange. I'm not gonna lie. That would be pretty bold. Orange and orchid. I don't know. It's small, so it's not going to be that distinctive. But I think I'm going to go. Although that lime green did really well at the bottom. I'm thinking maybe I'll do Nantucket. I think this is Nantucket. No, Thai teal. I'll do Thai teal and orchid. That'll be pretty. Okay. Find one that's already open. All right. We'll do the Thai teal on the bottom, orchid on the top, and then we'll be done, I think. But if you guys know me, a lot of times after my lives, I'll go and add something or change something, because then I'll just take and I'll step back and, you know, walk away from it for a couple of minutes and come back either the next day or later on that night, and I go, I should have done this or that. And then I do, and I end up posting a picture so you guys can see it. But again, that's what I love about this. It's so versatile. Okay. All right. One color down. I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. Hey, Tracy. You're catching me here at the end, but you can always do the replay. But I do have a few more minutes, so I'm going to show you guys the, I can actually just clean this one off, show you the project here at the end. I'm doing the very last part, I think, at least for now. And I'll get your opinions. I was just trying to think of what could I do for desserts. Like, you know, I saw stuff that said dessert bar, and you know, I love that cupcake transfer, and I had not used it yet. And I was thinking, I really want to figure out something to do with the cupcakes. And so I think I saw one that said, all you need is love and cake. And I was like, oh, I can do that. I can steal that idea. Borrow, as we call borrow that idea. And just make it into cupcakes. Okay. I'm going to have a lot of stuff to clean tonight. But that's okay. It's all worth it. Cute. Okay. All right, guys, you tell me. Do you think I need to add anything else? So all you need is love and cupcakes. And then you can see the tiny little cupcake there on the bottom. I could add, now, here's an idea. I could just put a bunch of little cupcakes, and I won't make you guys sit through this, but put a bunch of little cupcakes along the bottom. What do you guys think? That might actually get, like, make it so there's like 5 cupcakes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that'll kind of fill in the space, and I can do them all different colors. Sorry. Thank you for the hearts. So I think I might do that. I won't do it live though, because you guys have been with me for a while, and I really appreciate it. Unless you want to sit through it, totally up to you guys. I mean, you can always jump off if you don't want to watch it, I guess. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's do it. Okay. Yes, me too, Christy Lynn. I'm doing it. We're going for it, girl. See, and you kind of just, and that's where the creativity comes in, because you're looking at this and we're all looking and kind of going, okay. And I love it, but I'm sitting here thinking there's something missing. It's not there yet, right? And so we can just keep adding and doing. Okay, yes. Okay, good, Sherry. All right, so I'm going to do another one here. And this is fun. We'll get to use more colors this way. Use every color in my box. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe we already did the aquamarine up top, and it's quite pretty. Maybe aquamarine and canary. We'll do that. Oh wait, I think I have the aquamarine over here somewhere, right? Thai teal, orchid, red, mint green, lilac. Oh, maybe I put it. Oh, aquamarine. I'm telling you, it's so funny. I go to order pastes, and I'm like, I think I need more, whatever. And I've already got like 2 of them. Because then I start looking at the colors. I'm like, oh, they're so pretty. And so I ended up having to keep like an inventory list of them because I was ordering too many of one. Okay. All right. This is the other thing that I love about chalk paste is you can see I'm just laying stuff right on my table because it just wipes right off. I can totally just clean it right off. No harm, no foul. Okay, so this is the canary, and we're going to wipe off the squeegee I just used with the aquamarine. Was that aquamarine we used? I can't remember. Short-term memory, I'm telling you. It's horrible. Okay. We'll peel this one up. So cute. All right. I'm going to try to do this quickly, and then I'll show you guys when I do one whole side. I'm going to do the next one, and then that way you can see kind of how it's playing out. So the next set of colors, what do you guys think? I got to say, I love that lime. I wasn't sure how much I'd love it. I know I liked it, but oh, that lime. Okay, so the next one, maybe we'll do, we're kind of doing those blues on the bottom. So that's emerald. That's not blue. Is this Nantucket? Nope, that's Thai teal. I know I have a Nantucket in here. Here we go. We're going to do a Nantucket on the bottom. And maybe a pink on the top or something. Okay. All right, you guys still with me? There's a couple of you with me. Thank you. And if you have any questions, just spit them out, and I will do my best to answer them. Ooh, this one is old, old, old. Very dry. I might have to find another one. Oh, no, here we go. See, a little bit of water will do you. Little dab will do you. I'm hoping this one won't be too dark against the black, but we'll see. Okay, so this one, and is that the orchid? I think maybe, and we'll do in lilac. We'll do those 2 colors. I know we've already used some of them, but they're kind of pretty, and it's a much smaller space, so it may not be bad. Just open that up. Okay, so still pretty thick. Let's see if it'll work. Okay. Yep, clean. Now the lilac. I'm also reusing them because we've already mixed them, and they're good to go. And oops, that's some of that color from the bottom. Oh well. Okay, and that way you just peel and go, peel and go. Oh, pretty. Okay, so I'm going to show this to you guys where it is right now. Oops. And then we can do the other side. Okay. A lot of noises too. May 1st release. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, Christy Lynn, you and me both, and especially, I mean, you're down in Florida, right? So you're like me. You're kind of in that people like the beach and coastal themes and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be huge. I'm constantly getting customers saying, do you have anything beachy? And all I have is the well, Maine, besides the anchor and the seashells, is life is better at the beach. I ended up finding that from another designer. She used it once and then was done with it. And so anyways, okay, so here's one side. I'm gonna add 2 more. Yay. And so I have that one, which is super cute, and I've done, if you watch the front of this video, you'll see I did it on a onesie actually, and it's super cute, but getting more of them is going to be awesome. That's crooked. Okay. All right, so get some of those air bubbles out. And whoo, I have to make all these decisions. So let's see. I've got Dreamsicle. That would be pretty with Dreamsicle on the top with a Caribbean on the bottom. Done. Decision made. Okay. This one's getting to the bottom too. Remember I said I hadn't gone through a whole lot of transfers? I think it's because I'm at the bottom of a lot of them now. So yeah, so Christy Lynn was mentioning May 1st. So Chalk Couture has decided to come out with 2 big releases a year and I think 4 small releases. Is that right, Christy Lynn? I can't remember. But anyways, one of their small releases, which is not that small, it's 25 transfers, is coming out on Tuesday. I think that's May 1st, Tuesday. So all of us designers are just literally on the edge of our seats. They did do a little bit of a sneak preview. One of them is a camper, because we have that vintage truck. It's an old truck. And so they did a camper that you can pull behind that truck for summer vacation theme. And then they've got, I think, a globe, maybe. I think I saw one. The snuggle is real, because we can now that we have ink, we can do, you know, pillows and stuff like that. Okay, so there's another one in July. Yeah. So, yeah, so it's like every quarter they do one, and then twice a year they do a really big one. And that one was last February, I think it was. And yeah, I think I had to like take a second mortgage on my house because I literally could not decide what I wanted, and I bought so many of them. Just kidding, it wasn't that bad. But they're all so beautiful. It's like you want all of them. It's really hard to decide which ones you want. Ah, yay! All right, one more, people, and then we are done. And we can see how awesome this turned out, in my personal opinion. It's kind of just a fun little transfer. I will put this in the boutique where I sell and see if, see if it'll sell. Okay, I can tell this transfer, I'm reusing it over and over again without really cleaning it really well, and I can tell that it's starting to, this will probably be its last one, which is a good thing because it's the last one I need. It's going, please wash me and treat me well. It's not wanting to stick too much right now. Okay. Fingers crossed I can get one more out of it. Okay, so I'm thinking for the base, because we've stayed kind of in that bluish family. You know what? I'm going to go back to that the Nantucket one, because as I'm looking at the colors, it's kind of flowed that way. So we'll do Nantucket and that, and we'll do the same thing we did on the outside of this one to kind of balance it. It was Nantucket and lilac, which will be good. Okay. Nantucket and lilac. Okay. And you guys are troopers. I still got 3 of you with me. Thank you so much. All right. So we're going to do just the top here. You like that painter? What was his name? The guy who would paint, like, he would literally paint these beautiful scenes and all this stuff, and you're like, how in the heck did you do that? And he'd be like, we're going to put some pretty little trees over here and a nice little, you know, stream over here, and I can't remember his name. He used to be on PBS, I think, and he was always so fun to watch. Okay, I've got a little bit of cleanup areas to do going around, but I won't do those and make you guys wait. So here is the finished product. Oops, again, spatial skills. So all you need is love and cupcakes. What do you guys think? Do you like it? This is the whole thing, and then I'll do it really close up. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate it. And just some little cupcakes there at the bottom. Some little happy cupcakes there at the bottom. I'm gonna channel my Bob. I think his name is Bob. Anyways, too silly. Okay, it's late as I ramble on. All right. Oh, thank you, Christy Lynn. I appreciate it. I like it too. I hope my customers will like it and somebody will buy it, and then it can survive in somebody's home and bring joy to them, maybe. Thank you guys for all the hearts. I appreciate. Oh, and flowers. Oh, I hadn't seen that one before. Thank you, everybody. You're very nice, very generous. Okay, so Bob Ross, Lennis, thank you. Bob Ross, thank you. I'm channeling him tonight. We have some cute little cupcakes down here at the bottom and a nice little cherry on top. And yeah, I love that guy. Okay, so I am going to sign off, and I'll do a little bit of cleanup, and I'll post a picture of the final product or project on my page. And thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate it. So just, you know, if you like and follow my page, you'll get notifications for future lives. And if you are not a designer, I do have a VIP group where I put deals up every month, and you can start to build your own inventory if you don't want to become a designer yourself and you just want to have fun and make gifts. I do offer specials on occasion. So anyways, thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye.